What's up, guys? So we've got something that I've been waiting for all day. Legitimately. FedEx, you can actually track the driver. I've only been watching for like an hour and a half. It's fine. Anyway, so we're going to work on Danielle's Wrangler today. 2021 Wrangler JLU Sahara Altitude. I think that's it. But she currently has stock fenders. So these are the Sahara Altitude fenders, so they are color matched, which is cool. But they just don't leave a lot of room for clearance. So it's gonna be a couple of days before the fender liners come in. But
No, we haven't really talked about it.
do you see that box?
Probably should figure it out, but we ain't too worried about it.
Fenders.
Well, actually,
let's open them. Yeah, it's heavy. Now I see why that guy was struggling bringing it up. I'm not sure why they didn't just use a dolly. All right. So, in here, instructions. No one wants those. Danielle's over there and she didn't say anything when I said no one wants the instructions, so she must not have heard me.
I wasn't listening.
She wasn't listening. All right. It's a lot of pages. All right, let's make sure we've got everything. All right, 4 fenders. Got it. Air outlet covers. I guess it's these. Well, I wonder if this takes away the vent on the back behind your front fender. Huh. Are you okay with that? Okay. All right. What else we got?
I don't know what it does for me anyway.
It doesn't do anything. That, in case y'all didn't know, the vent on the front fender behind the front fender flare, yep, is useless. It doesn't do anything. It's not open. Now you can do things with it, but currently there's nothing there. So, lots of bolts. Oh, is it nameplates? Okay, a lot more parts. A metal rod thing. Another metal rod thing. I don't know. What is this? 4 random bolts. A bunch more really long bolts. And then the rubber protectant strips. So these strips are going to go on the actual fenders themselves, against the part that actually butts up against the vehicle, so that you protect your paint, because obviously you don't want your paint to get all scratched. Not replacing parts, at least. Get it scratched on the trail. All right, guys, so this is the new fender. This is steel. It is powder coated. It's got a front LED light and then a side marker LED light. And then of course, all of the plugs, which it has a lot of plugs. It's got 4 plugs for 2 lights. I mean, oh, okay, I see. All right, so it's got the 4 plugs, and then this will actually go into the vehicle. So you've got your 4, and then the 1 for the vehicle. All right, let's go ahead and get everything else unpacked, and we'll get rolling. Alright guys, we are over here on the front fender now. So looking at the front of the vehicle, you are actually going to have, I think it's 6 pop tabs, and then 4 bolts. 10 millimeters, so you got 1 there, 1 up here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then you've got 2 of the pins there, another pin there, and a couple of them up top here. Now the fender liner does come off as a whole piece with the fender. However, I want to actually get this fender liner out because the wires for the switchback turn signals run right here. So I'd rather just unplug that. That way I can just pop the entire fender off and not have to deal with that later. So let's go ahead and start getting this liner out and the fender off. If any of you go off-roading, you already know that these fenders hold dirt. It's now all over me. All right, slight change of plans. Because 3 of the clips actually run up inside of this, it's really hard to get to them right here. And to be honest, if you wanted to take off the fender liner without taking off the fender, you actually have to drill each one of these little things out. There's a trick to it, but that's a lot of extra work. I'm just gonna go the other way. So give it a good tug, and you will pop the clips off. Now there's clips behind this fender, and I'll show you what they look like. But they are notorious for breaking. All right, so now just get a good hold on it and just work your way over. Fair warning, you will break these clips. And here's the plug. Anybody else hate those videos where they undo something and it just pops right off without problems? Yeah, I'd rather give you guys a real life experience. So, if the plug is being a bad person, not a person. So if the plug is being a pain, persuade. that that is off, now you want to go around and get the remaining clips off all the way around. Like I said, they're going to break. All right, so now we will go ahead and take off that fake air vent. And there's little like squeeze pieces behind it, which I don't really know how to get to those, so we're going to cheat. Got it. All right, and then your plate is actually, other way, is going to sit right in the little cutout area. And you got your two holes right there. And then you've got M6 washer, M6 nut. Golf cart drove by. M6 washer, M6 nut, M6 locking washer, and M6 bolt. That will actually go in here and plug this up. So let's go ahead and get that in. All right, we got it on. I like it. It is way more beastly than stock. How boring is stock? But anyway, there have been some injuries. But overall, good quality. The lights are actually switchback, so it will be yellow for the blinker and white for the running lights. But we'll go ahead and jump to the back. Back is supposed to be a little bit easier, so we'll see. In the meantime, Danielle's going to grab some zip ties, and she just unlocked my truck because she put her hand in the handle for some reason. Anyway, all right, so she's going to go ahead and work on the zip ties to get those lines out of the way, and we will go back here to this side. All right, guys, so this side over here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little push pins. No bolts, so that's cool. But let's go ahead and get the push pins out. I got tired of the tool. Got it. Morning, everybody. So last night we ran out of daylight because even though the back is way less work, it's also way more tedious. Yeah, I mean, they went on not exactly in the easiest way. Directions on this thing suck. So Smittybilt got great products. Their instructions are lacking. But let's go check out what we've got left to do today. All right, so we've got the rear on, and yeah, like I said, this wasn't the most simple install for the rear. because the fun part comes in down here where these first 4 bolts actually all have nutserts in them. So you've got to get those in first before you can actually do anything. And those are not easy to put in. And then the front, there's no nutserts, but I'll tell you what, that is by far the hardest thing to put on. But overall, really like the way these things look. You see the difference in the height on stock. A little bit of gap right there. Much more gap. All right, so like I was saying, on the rear one over here, all these little plastic tabs which hold the stock fenders on, they break off. So you're not reusing those. And then you've got 4 or 5 wheel well liner holders or pins, and those will come out, but depending on what fenders you're using, probably not reusable. So let's go ahead and continue on this and get it done. All right, y'all, bit of an intermission. I just got back from the store. I may or may not have broken the nutsert part, so I had to go buy a new one. So, more trash. Hey, Danielle's back.
What up?
All right, so let's go ahead and try to finish this without breaking more parts. All right, we're about done. Danielle is doing the last of the wiring, zip tying them out of the way, and hoping she's not breaking anything because I heard a snap. But anyway, so we now have to clean up because those little tabs that are on all 4 fenders just shatter. So, word to the wise. Secondly, if you get this kit, try your best to have a good nutsert tool for an M6 bolt. Because I broke the other one, the one that came with it. But let's check it out. All right, y'all, so that concludes the build or the addition onto the Wrangler. Now I get to clean up and decide what I'm going to do with these fenders. We do have the LED switchback turn signals, and so those are actually going to be sold to somebody here locally. So help them out a little bit. And what's actually really cool is these turn signals are also switchback. So what that means is you've got a white running light, and then when you hit the turn signal, the white goes away and yellow flashes. And when you're done, yellow goes away, white comes back. I will probably go ahead and try to take the side marker lights and connect that into the turn signal so they also flash, but that's a project for another day. All right, guys, till the next one, we'll see you.